Hello and welcome to Rathods Science Academy. Today in this session we are going to see current affairs of 15th November 2024. So let's get started with our discussion. So let us see the first article, guys. Okay, say this title, guys. Read this title. AFSPA back in 6 violence hit areas of Manipur. So what is the keyword that you have to focus? Yes, AFSPA. So what is this AFSPA? Do you know the full form? Armed Forces Special Powers Act. Okay. So in which subject you will be dealing with this AFSPA? So AFSPA, which is giving special powers to armed forces. So AFSPA says that Armed Forces Special Powers Act. That means it is giving some special powers for whom? For armed forces. So why armed forces need to get the special powers? Because they have to maintain law and order in disturbed areas. So in which part of our country we are having most disturbed areas? Yes, in this northeast we have most disturbed areas. Why? Because of reason is insurgency. Okay. So to maintain law and order in northeastern areas, especially armed forces, they gave the special power. So because of this, in which subject we will be dealing with this? From GS paper 3 under internal security. So we are having internal security issues also. That means within India also we are having a lot of problems. Not only saving of our border is the mandate, but even maintaining of law and order within our country is also very important. So within our country, which are the problems we are having? We are having Naxalism, Maoism, and even terrorism. And next one is insurgency, illegal migration, refugees, etc. So it is our responsibility of Government of India to maintain proper law and order and to ensure security of the people, right? So because of this, we have this AFSPA. So here how you can expect a question is, so just see the basics of this AFSPA. And you have to see at present in which states this AFSPA is in operation. So in which states of Northeast, so this AFSPA is in operation now. That is the thing that you have to do some research. Okay, now let us see what is happening in Manipur. So again, once again, violence erupted in Manipur. We discussed this topic, I think 2 to 3 days ago. And again, the clashes which are going on between which communities? Kukis and Meiteis. So Meiteis are valley people and Kukis are hilly tribes. So what was the reason behind the starting of this Manipur violence or Manipur issue or communal violence? So here Meiteis are asking for reservation, and already Meiteis are part of legislature of this Manipur. So despite of their huge representation in legislature, and again they are asking for reservation. So because of this, that is the issue which is going on in Manipur. So why now it is in news? Because now Union Home Ministry reimposed AFSPA, that is Armed Forces Special Powers Act, in 6 police station limits across 5 districts in Manipur because of increasing of once again with ethical violence or like communal violence is happening in Manipur. So to control that issue, yes, now again Union Home Ministry reimposed this AFSPA in 6 police station limits, that is in 5 districts. Okay, so this act which grants extensive powers to armed special forces or armed forces, actually in Manipur, earlier it was there, AFSPA, but in 2022 it had been removed. And again because of ethnic violence, now again once again it is reimposed in Manipur. So actually here, because of increasing of ongoing violence and because of increasing of insurgent activities, and even nowadays there is increasing of killings of this Kuki people and Meitei people is happening. So because of this, this is the decision which is taken by our Government of India, that is Union Home Affairs. So actually this Armed Forces Special Power Acts which comes under control of Union Home Ministry but not Defense Ministry. So in this way also you have to be very much careful like who is imposing that, because on this also there is a chance of getting your prelims based question. This is about your observational studies only. So by observing, you have to remember the most of the things. Okay, so it is not the defense minister, it is Union Home Minister. So now let us see some facts regarding this Armed Forces Special Powers Act. So actually, this Armed Forces Special Powers Bill was passed in our both House of Parliament, that is Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, and finally President will give assent. Then only our bill becomes an act, right? So here, when it was passed in year 1958. So because of this, this act is called as Armed Forces Special Powers Act of 1958. The year when it was passed, that will comes, okay, along that act. And this act which came into force in the context of increasing of violence in especially northeastern states. And actually states, they feel very difficult to control this situation. So because of this, finally central government passed this act to give more power to these armed forces so that they will maintain law and order in that states. And AFSPA, which gives lot of amount of huge power to these armed forces, and also Central Armed Police Force, that is CAPF, especially in some disturbed areas. But who will be deciding which are the disturbed areas? Again, the discretion is with the Government of India. Government of India will be deciding which are the disturbed areas. So under this act here, so it is a power which is given to these armed forces to kill anyone who is acting in contravention to law, or they can arrest, they can search any premises without warrant, because they want to ensure protection from the prosecution and as well as legal suits without government, central government action. So here there is a chance of getting prudence question, guys. That is, so under this Armed Forces Special Powers Act, AFSPA, so which are the powers given to the armed forces? So first one is they can kill anyone who is acting in contravention, that is against law. And this one is they can arrest anyone, and they can also search any premises without any warrant. So these are the three important powers which are given to the armed forces under this act. So this is very important. And this one is the state and union government can issue a notification regarding this AFSPA. And especially Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, so obviously in these areas, so there will be the AFSPA which will be implemented because of insurgency in these areas. Okay, and let us see the next article. So see this article, exports rebound, but October import bill hits a new record. So what is this article is saying that? It is talking about exports and imports, right? So what is the meaning of exports? So when a country which is sending the goods and services to another country, they are called like exports. And if a country which is taking those services from other countries is called as imports. Okay, so here the keyword is trade. So trade includes exports and imports. So why we have to go for trade with other countries? Is any country which is self-sufficient? For example, regarding resources, regarding anything. So whether any country is self-sufficient? No. No country is self-sufficient because resources, they are not uniformly distributed. For example, you can see lithium triangle, which is present in South America. That area is very much rich in this lithium resources. And do we have the proper coal resources in India? No, we don't have the high quality coal, that is anthracite coal in India. So for that, we have to go for another country and we have to bring that. And in the same way, do we have the crude oil resources? No, we are dependent on Russia and as well as West Asian countries for that crude oil and as well as natural gas. So if you want to satisfy the needs of the people, obviously we have to go for export and as well as imports. Then only we can maintain the satisfaction of the people, and as well as we can maintain the economy, or else we can't. Okay, so trade includes two components, exports and as well as imports. Now, what this article is saying that, yes, there is increasing of exports from our country. So exports had been increased, and these exports are like in the month of October, so it is 28 months high. So from last 2 years onwards, in this October month, we have good amount of exports from our country. So this is the point which said. And what is saying the second point regarding imports is, there is increasing of import bill. So import bill is increasing. So can you tell me which are the imports we will be making for our country? Yes, crude oil. So we will be importing from other countries. Next. Okay, edible oil, crude oil. Next. Okay, API, active pharmaceutical ingredient from China. Next. Yes, weapons. Okay, defense. Huh? Yes, very good. Gold. So which is a costly in this? Costly. Okay. So actually this article is saying that despite of increasing of exports, which is 28 months high in the month of October, there is increasing of import bill because we are importing costly items like gold and crude oil. So if you see the price of gold, so within just 1 to 2 months, so there is very huge amount of increasing of price of crude oil and as well as gold happen. So because of this, despite of increasing our exports also, again the imports bill increased. So whenever import bill is more, what will be the impact? What is that condition? That is called as trade deficit. Yes or no? So in trade, you have to know about these two keywords. One is trade surplus. Next one is trade deficit. So trade surplus is a condition where there will be exports more compared to that of imports, and in trade deficit imports are more compared to that of exports. But now despite of increasing of exports are more compared to that of imports, so we have to take price also into consideration. So because of increasing of price of imports, now we are having this increasing of import bill. So what we have to do in this condition? Okay, so import bill is increasing. So what will be the impact of increasing of this import bill? Tell me. So what happens if there is huge import bill? Huh? Yes, decreasing of forex reserves. So we have to pay them. No one will be giving anything for free. Even our neighbors also, nothing. You should not expect anything. So here forex reserves will be depleting. Next. What about economic growth? There will be decreasing of economic growth. Next. When we are increasing the imports, can we encourage domestic industries? No, there will be discouraging of domestic industries. So what happens whenever we are discouraging domestic industries? Employment will be increased or decreased? Yes, decreasing of employment. Next. So whenever there is decreasing of employment, will the people have the money in their hands? What about standard of living? There is decreasing of standard of living. What about purchasing power? Parity of people will be going for the markets and make the demands? No. Again, there is decreasing of purchasing power of people. So in this way, if you're getting any point, you have to connect with each and everything, guys. So what about international relations? Okay, so there are increasing of imports. That means we are having good relations with other countries. That will be helpful for global trade. Okay, so now let us see this article in detail. So India's goods exports rebounded strongly in month of October. So there is increasing of exports of 17.25%, and it is around $39.2 billion of exports we did. But here import bill increased by 3.9% because of rising of cost of gold and as well as petroleum purchases. So because of these two things, there is increasing of import bill of 3.9%. So there is again trade deficit now in this month despite of increasing of exports. Okay, now if you see the important key points they gave, so now in India we can see there is increasing of export growth trend. So what might be the reasons behind this increasing of exports? So tell me how government is promoting our exports. Do government is helping any industries regarding exports, export oriented schemes, anything? Yes, MSME. Okay, boost of MSME. Next. Exim. Next. Huh? Okay, tariffs. How? Okay, trade agreements. Yes, free trade agreements with different countries. Next. Come on, you can do it. So today you have to search about how government is promoting exports. There you have to see the schemes, and even you have to see about product linked incentive scheme where government is focusing on giving incentives based on the production of domestic manufacturers. Okay, so this article is saying that there is 17.25% of rise in exports, and it is very significant now because from last 28 months onwards we don't have any increasing of exports, but in this month we had good amount of exports. And next one here is there is record import figures. So the new import bill records which says that there is growing reliance on foreign goods. So whenever we are increasing our imports, we can understand that we are reliant on the foreign countries for the foreign goods, especially gold and as well as petroleum products. So because of this, now it is a very huge cause of concern for India, like how we are going to balance this trade balance. And this one here is again because of increasing of import bill, so we are having a trade deficit. So here this trade deficit which says that there is imbalance between exports and imports. We are exporting cheap goods, but we are importing costly goods. So this is one cause of concern. And how we have to maintain this, how we have to address this challenge. So this is the one more problem that we are having before government of India. And next one here is we have to focus on the sector specific strategies. Like we have to focus on engineering goods, chemicals, textiles, etc. And we, because of these engineering goods, chemicals and textiles, they are labor intensive companies, so they can create huge amount of employment, so that we can address this problem of employment in our country, and as well as we can boost our exports. And we have to try to export costly goods rather than cheaper goods, so that we can maintain this trade deficit balance. And next one here is we are also having some global economic challenges. So again Trump 2.0 era started, and again there will be the trade protectionism policies will be come up by the US, so that they want to protect their domestic industries. So because of this it will be also having impact on global trade. So India should be very cautious regarding that trade between India and US, because if you see the trade between India and US, India is having trade surplus, will be exporting more to US rather than importing. So because of this, in this 2.0 era of Trump, again there is a cause of concern regarding how we are moving forward regarding trade with US. And we are focusing, especially we dependent on this crude oil, especially petroleum products. So here we have to make the proper policy so that we can enhance our self-sufficiency. Like whenever we are moving towards this renewable energy, like whenever we are improving our solar and as well as wind energy, etc., so we can decrease our crude oil imports. So in this way, we have to focus on our self-sufficiency, and policymakers need to focus on renewable energy resources, because India is located in tropical region and India is also part of ISA. So because of this, India is having a very huge potential of harnessing this solar energy, which is free of cost. Okay. And next one here is the future export projections, which are mainly said that yes, India is on track to surpass $800 billion in total exports this year. And because of this, we can ensure that overall economic growth can be happens, and we can go for trade expansion. So recently our prime minister, our president, our external affairs minister, so everyone, they are going to different countries and they are finalizing the free trade agreements, right? So because of this, whenever we are having our trade expansion, obviously we can ensure economic growth through increasing of exports to the different countries. So that is the thing which mainly said here. Okay. And see this article, guys. PM to launch stamp coin on Munda's birth anniversary. So what is the keyword here? And keep star mark for this topic. Yes, Birsa Munda. So why this Birsa Munda is important this year? Why here Prime Minister is launching stamps and coins on his birthday this year? Why didn't happen last year? There is birthday anniversary. Last year also there was a birthday anniversary. But why didn't they do last year, and why they're doing this year? Yes. So this birthday marks 150th anniversary, and for sure you will be getting questions regarding this Birsa Munda in your prelims. Munda rebellion. Okay, so where you will be studying about this Munda rebellion? In history. In which part of your history? Ancient or medieval or modern? In modern history, which comes under tribal revolt. So Birsa Munda led a Munda rebellion in which state? In Jharkhand. Okay. So here you have to know about this Munda rebellion as well as focus on different tribal revolts which happened in our India. Because they may give question only regarding Munda, that is Birsa Munda, or else he may give like what is this rebellion, or else they may give choose the correct answers like pairs. They may take 2 or 3 tribal revolts and they may ask like what is the aim or like who led, like that they may give the pairs. So in these 3 ways you can get a question regarding this and keep star mark in your history part. Okay, let us see this article. So Prime Minister is set to launch commemorative stamp and coin to mark 150th birth anniversary of tribal icon and a freedom fighter Birsa Munda at an event which is scheduled in Jamoli district of Bihar. Okay, so in Bihar he is going to launch the stamp and as well as coins on this 150th anniversary. So was this Birsa Munda? He was a folk hero and a tribal freedom fighter, and he also played a very important role in our Indian independence movement, especially in the tribal regions in British India. So he belonged to Munda tribe from Chota Nagpur Plateau region, and especially he was arose in Bihar as well as Jharkhand belts in early 19th century. And he fight against land grabbing. So actually British government, they used to grab the land from this tribal. He fought against that. Okay, against forceful land grabbing from these tribals. And especially he was also fought against the bonded labors and to alleviate poverty from these tribal people. Okay. So actually he was very much famous for Munda rebellion, and write down the other names of this Munda rebellion, that is called as Ulugulan or Tamnar revolt. So you may get a question regarding Tamnar revolt. So don't confuse. Tamnar revolt is nothing but Munda rebellion. Okay. So this rebellion was against oppressive British policies, especially introduction of forest laws, and as well as restricted tribal access to the traditional lands, and even they imposed huge amount of taxes on this tribal. So because of this, they started rebelling against these Britishers. And Birsa Munda, he united various tribal communities under this Munda Raj, and he led a series of guerrilla warfare campaigns against British forces. So do you know what is the meaning of guerrilla warfare? Yes, they will be hiding in the bushes or in the hills, and they will suddenly come and attack these people. That is called as guerrilla warfare. Especially these forest people, they will be fighting in this guerrilla warfare. Okay, that is a thing. And see this image, what is this? It is about Pinaka rocket system. So DRDO announced successful trials of Pinaka rocket system. So what is this Pinaka rocket system? Recently we discussed. Okay, multi-barrel rocket launch system. Okay, so from which subject you will be saying this? Science and technology. Under which topic? Okay, defense. In defense where? Huh? Missiles? Okay. So already we discussed this recently. So DRDO announced the successful completion of flight test of this guided Pinaka multi-barrel rocket system, and there is a very high chance of getting question regarding this Pinaka rocket system in your prelims because it is highly CD news. So focus on this area well. So actually it is designed by Armament Research and Development Establishment, that is ARD, which is a laboratory of DRDO itself, and it was first used in Kargil War. So here in this point you may get confused. They may ask like Indo-China War, okay, like that. So it had been used in Kargil War for the first time, and it neutralized Pakistan army positions on the mountain tops. And actually it will deliver lethal responsive fire against variety of area targets. Okay, so see this once. And see this article guys, raising impunity. So recently Supreme Court gave a judgment regarding bulldozer justice. So what is this bulldozer justice? Already you wrote a question on that. Demolition of illegal constructions for what? Huh? For environment protection. Okay. So here what Supreme Court said, any idea? Are you going with this news? Demolition of is not right. Okay, very good. So from which topic you will be seeing? From which subject? GS paper 2 under polity and as well as GS paper 2 under governance. So is bulldozer justice right according to you or not? No? Why? It will be difficult. Okay. Mm-hmm. According to you, bulldozer justice is right or wrong? Wrong. Why? Uh, it's wrong. Okay. Motive of political thing is wrong. If it is entirely focusing on environment protection, it is right. Okay. So is it happening only in state of Telangana? Can you tell me some examples where it is happening in which states? UP, Maharashtra. Tell me all the states. Okay. So let us see in detail like what Supreme Court said. So Supreme Court underscored that it is unconstitutional to demolish a person's property without adhering to the due process of law and simply giving only one reasons on the grounds of alleged involvement in a crime. So if you are giving a reason that they are involved in a crime and what are the money they are getting and they are going for building of these things and they are going for occupying the illegal things like that, if you are giving only one this reason and if you are going for simply demolition of property, so it is unconstitutional. So this is the thing which mainly said. So if you see the background of this case regarding the petitions who filed, so the case involved a series of petitions which are challenging extra legal practices of demolishing houses of individuals accused of criminal activities which is happening in states of UP, MP, Rajasthan and Uttarakhand and recently Hydra projects in Telangana. So the recent ruling prompted by incidents in Udaipur, Rajasthan, Ratlam in MP this year. So because of this, actually this judgment is based on other states, not in our Telangana state. So here Supreme Court gave the key guidelines regarding how we can go for this bulldozer justice. So first important point it said is, so now here Supreme Court is using Article 142. Yes, judiciary is going on, right? So what is Article 142? So tell me articles of Supreme Court. Article? Supreme Court articles. Not 127. Supreme Court articles. Yesterday itself in class. Not 112. 120? Yes, 124 to 140? Sure? Okay, so what is 142 then? Uh, uh, uh. See these articles clearly what is 124 and 141, 142, 143. So these four are very important articles. And recently we discussed about Article 143. Why we discussed 143? 143. What is that 143? What is 142 then? Uh, uh, mm. Okay, Supreme Court is invoking Article 142 and issued nationwide guidelines to prevent illegal and retributive bulldozing of homes and private properties of accused persons by states. So please let me know what is 142 after this class. Okay, so now here Supreme Court gave nationwide guidelines. That means every state should follow these guidelines. Uh, uh, uh. Sumoto cases. Okay, complete justice 143. 142. Okay. Ah. The first important point is demolition cannot be carried out without show cause notice. So first of all, government, if they want to go for destroying or demolition of that so and so property, they have to give the show cause notice for the owner. So what is the time frame? At least before 15 days. So 15 days before they have to give the show cause notice. So this is the first guideline which is given. And second one is digital record keeping and accountability. So here many a times if you're going for only paperwork, there is a lot of accountability issues. So because of this, we have to go for digital record keeping as well, so that we will be having a proper accountability and as well as evidence that we send the show cause notice before 15 days itself. So we have to go for proper digital notification. Especially we have to send the digital notification to the district collector or magistrate via email, so that they will be having the digital record keeping of the show cause notices. And next one here is court also said that within 1 month, so the district collector or magistrate, he must appoint a nodal officer who is responsible for managing of this demolition related notices. If they're getting any notices, they have to appoint officer. So these are your works, guys. So focus on this. An apex court also called for setting up a digital portal, so that they will be providing the details of this notices and orders to the people. So whenever I discussed about this accountability and transparency in your ethics classes, I said about we need to have a website, right? So we need to have a portal so that we can display everything there, so that everyone will be having the access, and even they have the right to information, right? So information sharing is very important in your public administration. So here you have to share as much as information to the people through the digital portals. And next one is mandatory videography of demolition. So whenever we are going for this demolition of this proceedings, etc., so this thing should be videographed, and the report has to be submitted to the concerned municipal commissioner. And next one here is, yes, they have to give the justification for the demolition in the final order. So final order should be maintained why the extreme step of demolition is taken. So if it is only the last sort of option, then only they have to go for this demolition. And next one is here, if officials are not following these guidelines which is given by the court, and they will be facing the contempt of court. What is this contempt of court? How many types of contempt? Judiciary. So if they are not following or if they are violating the court's order, that will comes under contempt. So types of contempt, how many types? Civil contempt and criminal contempt. So what is the difference between civil contempt and criminal contempt? Is this topic done? No, today? Okay, so see that topic. And next one is, there are also some exemptions to the guidelines. So these guidelines will not apply to unauthorized structures on public land, like if they're going for construction on roads or footpaths or near bodies of water. So where court order mandates demolition. So there are some areas of exception as well. So in these areas, these guidelines will not work. And next one here is, one more thing is, whatever the past demolitions had been done, they are not at all covered. Only these guidelines will be applicable for the only the future demolitions. And next one here is, so these are the guidelines should be implemented throughout our nation. That means each and every state, they have to implement it properly. So now here Supreme Court will circulate the copy of this judgment to all chief secretaries of all the states and union territories. And here Supreme Court will be ensuring these guidelines which are followed in all the states. Okay, so and then I gave you one statement of bulldozer justice. So it is nothing but it is an extra legal action where the authorities will demolish the properties as a means of punishment, and they are often targeting the individuals who are accused in the crimes or dissenting against the government. The people who are involved in the crimes or dissenting the government. So this is used as an extra legal action by the government. So there is one article C. So recently we discussed about retail price inflation is very high, especially because of food prices, oil prices and vegetable prices. And here we are also having the wholesale prices also had been increased by 11.6%. So obviously whenever there is increasing of wholesale price, there will be the increasing of retail price. Okay, see the reasons why there is increasing of wholesale price or price in the market. Okay, so already we discussed this topic number of times. See this, and here you have to see about what is a CPI, that is consumer price index, and wholesale price index. So in consumer price index especially we will be measuring the retail price. So we have different types there: agriculture laborers, industrial workers, combined. So see those things. Okay, any doubts so far? Today I will be giving you question on which topic. So what is the important topic where you will be getting mains question in today's discussion? If you come in the middle, this will be the situation. Huh? I started class exactly at 8:30 today. That's my mistake. Starting class on time is my mistake. Okay. Coming at 8:50 it is not your mistake, but starting class at 8:30 is my mistake. Very good. So I'll be giving you one question on which topic? Bulldozer justice you wrote, right? Bulldozer justice, but Supreme Court gave the guidelines. So I will be giving the questions on Supreme Court guidelines of bulldozer justice because it is very important. You may get even prelims based question there. Okay, that's all guys. These are the important topics that appeared in our today's Hindu newspaper. So by this I'm concluding. I hope you enjoyed this class. If you really like this class, please hit the like button and please do share this class to your friends. And I'm providing daily current affairs quiz and also word of the day and daily one means question on our Telegram channel. Please do join that Telegram channel. Link is given in description box. And don't forget to subscribe to Rathods IS Academy.